Yesterday I had a great streaming session. I did some more Steam Deck docked streaming and figured out a few things that needed to take place in order to make this look better on a TV, and we'll talk about that today. But before that, huge news. Got merch. This t-shirt was created by the great Chase, and also known as Sandops in community. Right here, it says play, and on the back we have Dragon Ball going into a coffee cup for the great Akira Toriyama. Right here. I got all of my stuff that I have of his. It's a great t-shirt. I'm so excited to have it. It's the first ever merch that we have here on the channel. Many more things to come. This will be available from right now all the way until the last day of April. And then it won't be available anymore. So get it while you can. And then if you were in the stream yesterday, which you can watch, I'll link that at the end of this video. But if you were in the stream yesterday, you saw the other two shirts that are launching. One is only exclusive to the members here, so Dad. And the other is going to be the May launch, which is so cool. Anyway, very excited about that. Today we're going to be doing the AeroPress because I love the form factor. And we're going to be talking about how to make the Steam Deck docked experience a little bit better. And it's going to have a lot to do with this little guy right here. So what we have here is an upscaler. If you're not familiar with what that is, it's exactly what it says. It takes an image and it upscales it and makes it look better. The Steam Deck as it stands is able to do that with the dock, and it pulls. You basically switch the image. Once it detects that it's being docked, you can upscale your image. Last night I was playing through Horizon Zero Dawn, which is, I would say, the first AAA title that actually requires some level of performance that I have. I guess Resident Evil 4, but Horizon Zero Dawn just is a bigger environment with a lot more going on at once, and so it just it allows you to adjust more things. And in that open area environment, you see different, dinosaur mechanical beasts, whatever they're called, as well as Aloy running around, and so you really are able to see what the different settings do to the game. And in doing so, it had, it turned on FSR, and FSR was great and all, but FSR being something super resolution, whatever it may be. It was cool. It definitely gave me more frames. I was averaging anywhere between 45 and 70, depending on all the different adjustments I made. But it just wasn't crisp, especially on something like my 4K TV. I have a 4K OLED TV. Very great. Good. It's the LG C2. Love it. It's awesome. But man, did I see a huge difference when it comes to FSR and regular, just the actual settings. When I would switch it on, it'd be kind of jagged, because what it's doing is it's taking a lower resolution image and it is essentially upscaling it, and it's faking that it's that higher resolution. I was impressed that they're able to do such things, but definitely that magic that is FSR wasn't that magical. I saw the imperfections very easily. And so I was like, how can I make this look better without taxing the machine itself? I figured, well, if the machine is doing all of the heavy lifting, right? So we have the Steam Deck doing the heavy lifting with the FSR or whatever, and the resolutions. What if I put something in between the machine and the TV to do some more lifting that is independent from the actual Steam Deck itself? And that was when I was like, well, I have this upscaler I use for my Nintendo Switch to make Nintendo Switch look better. It isn't like crazy gonna like solve all the problems, but what it will do is it will clean up the image pretty well, because it does that for the Nintendo Switch, and we'll see how that fares. Well, I did just that. This is the M Classic by Marseille, Marseille. I will link it in the description along with the shirts. Get the shirts. And this did the job. It doesn't take an image and make it perfect, but it absolutely took some of the jaggedness that comes with switching on FSR and smooths it out. And now I'm going to be honest, this is just with the docked experience. I mean, obviously this has to be plugged in to the HDMI side of it, but this is just with the docked experience. If you were to play a game like Horizon Zero Dawn with FSR and all these things turned on in handheld mode, I'll tell you right now, like, it is incredible the way it looks. Let's turn it on so I can show you. I am overly impressed with how it all turns out. Now, I play at nighttime. I play Hades because I love that game. It's a fun little, fun, frustrating at times, but it is a good game. But when it comes to this graphical, intense kind of thing, I'm trying to figure out where are the limitations, right? And I will say that there are certainly limitations. Can I play a more stable version of this on my PlayStation 5? Sure. On a PC? Absolutely. This is a handheld device, right? But what this did last night was showed me that there is still some cool things you can do in addition with your dock that will make your gaming experience better visually, right? I don't think that it's for everyone. I certainly don't think that the docked mode is for everyone. And I'm becoming, as much as I like it, if I'm being honest with you, I see the limits and I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to use docked mode as much as I originally anticipated. Because it's just not necessary when the gaming situation is this good handheld, right? So right now, if you guys can see, right, let's turn on, I'll turn on for you right now the some frames, so you can see. So right now we're running at 60 frames per second. I don't know if this is coming in good for you, but got some good water stuff, right? And so the settings that I have for this are as follows. So we'll go to settings. Oops, didn't want to switch that. So we're at original, and then we are at FSR quality. So we'll go and we'll go up to ultimate quality, and we'll see what we're dealing with now. So we're with FSR quality, ultimate quality, and we are running at 45, spinning around, moving around. It looks like we are between, so this has a lot of stuff up here. We're running between 40 and 45 frames, right? We get into some zoomed in here with Aloy, and this is on ultimate quality. Which I think all I would really need to do to make this work better is I would take shadows down to medium, and I would probably take clouds down to high. And just in doing those two things right there, we just got ourselves 50, 56, just by taking shadows to medium and clouds to high. And I mean, this is incredible. This is an incredible gaming experience. Now, I will say, you plug this into your TV, and you are going to have a very, very different visual experience. And that's what I noticed yesterday, with a game like this. Now, again, if we're playing a game like Hades or Crisis Core, it's different. The demands of that game aren't tremendous, right? It's going to be very, very easy peasy when it comes to everything there. Hey, this one I dedicate to you, Chase. Amber is the color of your energy. Okay. For those of you who know and who heard me dog on 311 last time, I offended my best friend Chase. Yeah, it was a really cool realization that there was still stuff that can be done, and the honeymoon phase is wearing off. I will say, last night I had so much fun with everybody, talking about the deck and all that stuff, and becoming a deck daddy. If you want to be a deck dad, all you gotta do is just own a Steam Deck. But if you want to become a dad of the channel, memberships, go ahead, join up. But like, it was a cool thing because we were talking. Someone asked me about the Ally. They're like, "So what are you gonna do with the Ally?" And yesterday, actually, I returned it to Best Buy. It's officially returned, and it's not because I think it's a bad device. I think it's a great device. I'm realizing that as time has gone on, I'm not going to be able to do much more than experiment with something like that, because once it's booted and good to go, I'm still gonna want to use this. This is just my go-to kind of thing, and I'm trying to learn all the nuances of it, and I'm trying to install different things and figure everything out. The next thing that I am going to really lean into here is EmuDeck. I want to see how EmuDeck runs on here, and then that will be something we talk about. And then after that, we're going to go into the cloud streaming stuff. How can we stream Xbox games? How can we stream PlayStation games, right? Because apparently these are things that you can do with this, and it makes this into a PlayStation Portal. It makes it into a Logitech G Cloud. We were able to do all of the different things that people are doing with other devices with the Steam Deck itself. But what I was most impressed with last night was just how this little guy actually saved the day. I've made plenty of videos about this for the Nintendo Switch. And you have a Nintendo Switch, I definitely would recommend this. Oh, man. But I didn't think until 3 streams in to use that little doohickey. It's like $100 still, surprisingly. And they have other devices too. And upscalers exist. You can find upscalers, multiple different types of upscalers, but I think that's really the big thing you can do in adjusting the quality of your image here for something like the Steam Deck. Which, dude, I've been really impressed with this, but also the fact that I have no urge. If I was to, I can't do it because it would be tough for me to reason with myself that I did it, but I haven't turned on my Nintendo Switch in 2 months now, and I have no reason to turn on my Nintendo Switch. And if, emulation of the Nintendo Switch wasn't such a hot topic, I would just bring over all of my games from my Nintendo Switch to the Steam Deck, which I know that you're not supposed to do, because technically it's a bad thing to do. But I am a full-blown deck daddy. I am sold out for Steam Deck, dude. Talked about it at length, and it's definitely something that I'm very, very into. As I was talking yesterday on stream, if you want to be a part of the streams, those are happening more often. The next one will be on Friday just because I got so much going on this week. But I talked about how I feel like a lot of interests here for me have changed, and it's primarily because just time, but also just talking with you guys about stuff. I come through a lot of my thoughts are based on being a dad and my not experience as being a dad, but just also the needs that a dad has, also the fact that I can't talk because it just woke up. Oh baby, that's good. And I find myself gravitating more towards those kind of topics, right? When I first started this out, it was just hey, game, and I try to hold on to that to a certain extent, but really it's so many different things, right? There's gaming, there's Traeger. It's a big part of my life. My good friend my barrel Traeger, a barbecue. There's coffee, right? There's all these different aspects of stuff here, and if I may, and just this is the big thing I want to comment about is I want to deviate a little bit from just talking about video games and talk about a little bit more than that while we have our cups, right? Checking in with life, maybe a story, something that's completely off base here, something I saw that's an experience I had, or even something that happened in the news, whatever it may be. I want this to be a place where dads are we're gonna talk about dad things. We talked yesterday about so many different funny things as a dad, but a lot of it was hey, I'm a new dad. What do I have to expect, right? And it's just dude, well, first off, welcome. You have the craziest life to expect. It's the most crazy life ever. But you realize that with that life comes just about every decision has weight, right? The purpose, right? So for instance, the very reason why I don't have this, Ally, Legion Go, MSI Claw, all these things, is because first off, I pay for all of these 100%, right? I paid $600 whatever for this, $600 for that, for the Ally, $700 for the Legion, or $808 actually for the Legion Go. All this stuff I pay for 100%, and the thought of me spending $1,500 to $2,200 on these devices, and also having to support a family, it's just ridiculous. And so on stream last night, I was hey, I would love to play with those toys, but it's just not the right thing to do as a dad, right? It's irresponsible, because I would be doing that for you guys to like, hey, look at this toy I have. But like, that's not how I would serve my family. And so like a lot of those decisions come down to how am I best serving my family. And so like, this is it, right? Deck, cup of coffee, easy peasy. It really just is like, how simple can things get and how satisfied are you with everything here? And someone mentioned like, what about the keeping up with the Joneses stuff? And that's a whole other topic for another time. And I think that will be tomorrow's cup, if I'm being honest, is we'll talk about the keeping up with the Joneses problem that happens with video games and all that kind of stuff. But you can hear my kid is crying right now. I have no clue why they're crying. My wife's down here with them, but my boy is crying, screaming, and making a bunch of noise, which is awesome. But that's probably my cue to exit the office and go help out. Today's a shorter cup. I'll finish this off stream, or not off stream. I'll finish this off camera. Now you guys know that if you want to make your Steam Decks look a little bit better, here we go. This guy right here. Tomorrow we'll talk about keeping up with the Joneses. Sound good? Awesome. Happy gaming.